I say whoa now, dad, to the nah, 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 nah. I say nah, 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 whoa. It's your boy, the Toothless Wonder, up early in the AM on the Bamboozled Again News Network. Shut. Well, I really actually got a topic today that I might be able to expound on if I go in school for the solar, so I can figure out how to produce my own energy, so I ain't got be dependent on the crumbling system. And I check out manosphere content from various peoples. You know what I'm saying? And and then based on my experience, I'll adopt some of their beliefs, or strategies of how to adapt to this ever-changing climate of feminism, and just everything is set up to just keep the black man, neutered or in a subservient, submissive position, and so on and so forth. So it's no different than like in slavery or the crabs in the bucket syndrome. When you start to wake up or you start to gain knowledge, you know what I'm saying? Like you get shunned, or the people who are still in the bucket attempt to pull you down, say that's not true. Then you can show them the evidence, and then they'll just say something that has nothing to do with what you just showed them. You know what I'm saying? So, there's these various talk of what the state of is the black community. First of all, there's no such that black thing as a black community because there's no unity in the community. One, typically, and coupled with the fact, in what we think of the black community, like the hood or wherever that's at, a lot of times there aren't any men in these communities, so there's not going to be any order. And of the men that are there, they're probably like the incubus type male who's just kind of taking advantage of the single mother, or she's taking advantage of the fact that, he may not have a whole lot of stands, or he's just trying to get on his feet, or, you know what I'm saying? Because I've noticed a dynamic. Or they'll say, okay, you can't handle a strong black woman. No man with any sense wants to. It doesn't make any sense to him. Like, if I'm a man, I don't have to prove my manhood to you. Because then I'm not a man if I got to prove it to you. You see what I'm saying? Like, people attempt to prove themselves when they're inadequate in a particular area. Like, if I know I can fight, I don't wake up and then be like, I have to prove to people I can fight. You see what I'm saying? But typically, a strong, independent black woman actually more so winds up with a weak man. That's how that dynamic works. Somebody has to be the dominant, somebody has to be the submissive. Even in like the so-say gay relationships, right? You don't see two effeminate men together. Or you don't see two outwardly masculine men together. You always need that yin and yang theory for it to work. So any black man who's strong internally, right? Spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and I'll speak for myself, is utterly turned off by black women. And I get mad because I actually love black, because, they're of my kind, my tribe. But they have committed treason. And that's the way I see it. At one point, I think brothers was like, well, maybe they don't know, maybe, da-da-da. And then you see like these various podcasts of guys bringing these women on, which I think, and then ask them their opinion like it matters. It doesn't matter. It matters to weak men or men who are attempting to pander. But I don't really care nothing about, and this going to sound chauvinistic, but it's just the reality. I don't care about your opinion because your opinion isn't factual and logical. And it's not going to get us anywhere. So if we do what you're saying do, like we do now, where, women typically run the household, they have these power positions in these companies and so on and so forth. Actually, no, more often, when you see a black woman in leadership, it's fucked up. Because typically women aren't designed to have leadership skills and capabilities. Under their watch, a whole bunch of fuck shit goes on. Just like in the black homes where it's single mother and so on and so forth. So I'll preface all that to say this, like, okay, so what's the solution, Cal? I'm glad you asked. Because obviously, they say, and I got this from GMB, the grown man Bennett, how they'll say, communication is key. No, it's not. Comprehension is. I'm under the belief, thoroughly, that they don't want to comprehend what you're saying. They'll play like the mental or the verbal word games and word salad that has nothing to do with application. You'll see them talk a whole lot of yin yang, but do the complete and exact opposite. That's why they like talking, because they'll talk so much it'll get you out the focus. They haven't done a motherfucking thing. You know what I'm saying? So there's no point in talking or asking their opinion or asking you to work with us, because they deep down they don't want to. As the word says, they become drunk with the wine of the fornication of Babylon. So like when a person drunk, they're incoherent. They can't comprehend. They're behaviorally, whatever. There's no sense in dealing with a drunk person until they sober up. But okay, if we're gonna use that analogy, when someone sobers up, they go through the pain of withdrawal, the pain of the reality of the behavior. Like me, like I used to be alcoholic, and that shit used to suck. After have fun, long night of drinking, but you pay for it the next day. You all dehydrated, can't think, barely can function. You all shaky. But it's through the pain that causes the repentance. If you go through enough of it, there's no pain involved with the i.e. black woman, right? Because she can have babies by whoever, you know. There's no shame. There's no financial hit. You can go down social service, you can get a crowd, whatever. We all know this, right? So there's no catalyst for her to change. She doesn't. There's no reason for her to, be in legacy, because she lives for herself. Because the society has set it up that way. So there's no catalyst for her to change unless the individual woman attempts to change for whatever the reason. But more often than not, we don't really see that. We see talk of change, just like politicians, but nothing actually really happens. So for the black man who's in whatever position he's in, what do you do? And this is what I preach now. Because this is the only way we can change the shit. And it's not by voting. It's not by talking. Well, it is by voting. Vote with your feet. Leave. Stop fucking with them. Stop. And I take it a step further. Stop fucking with the whole demonstration, the whole society. Like, I left the job for the second time after they hired me back because of my skill set, right? But when I went to them in an effort to solve the problems that were going on, they attempt to tell me it ain't no problem. So now that lets me know you ain't trying to comprehend what I'm saying when the problems are evident and I just laid out the evidence to you. So now you're dismissive of me. So now you put me like, okay, in the quagmire. Not really, but for lack of a better word. So I got two eyes under comprehending what you're really trying to say or reading between the lines. Go along to get along, or become overly frustrated with the fuck shit that's going on that you have to put up with because we don't want to change it. And we're kind of testing you here. But since you came back, we don't think you'll leave. Shit, I was gone the next day. Come pick these keys up from the parking lot. Yes, how? Oh, man, what are you going to do about bills? What are you going to do about this? Bet on myself like I've been doing. Because when you put in enough work internally, externally, attempting to gain leverage for yourself as a man, you'll end up saying no to stuff more than you say yeah, because it's unbecoming of anything you want to attach yourself to. Because like I was saying to him, I'm like, yo, and which triggered all the upper management. I'm like, yo, these people taking us for a joke, yo. I ain't gonna be part of no joke. Like, if I'm around a bunch of sucker niggas, ain't I one? I'm with them. But when it comes to when brothers talk about, the whoredom of the black woman, the lack of loyalty, the lack of respect, the lack of gratitude, all these things, right? How do you curtail that? Stop fucking with them. Don't acknowledge their presence. Don't call them. Don't do nothing. Stall them out, Debo. Stall them out. They'll come back around. But the reason they haven't is because enough niggas ain't doing it. Because most niggas are sex deprived or have an overly or out of whack infatuation with sex, which actually, like in my personal situation, like my daughter mother, it was easy. But not understand at the time, it being easy actually made my life harder. Doing hard things makes your life easier. Like it's hard to not fuck with bitches. But I have an easier road because I ain't got nobody fucking with me. I stand on my principles. And now they're attempting to break down, like, and be more, I don't know, submissive or feminine. But it's an act, though. You haven't went through enough pain. So I'm still not talking to you. I'm dug in. I'm not budging. Because and I'm not willing to compromise. Because once I compromise, I'm back playing on your turf. Now we playing, this a home game here. Word up. It's a home game here. And because of the path I've had to walk, I'm used to waiting. You can't outwait me. And in reality, you need me. I don't need you. Like the value system is flip-floppitied. You see what I'm saying? She'll have you believing, or even a job, or like, okay, take black people, right? Let's say all black people say, man, we ain't working no more, yeah? The American economy falls apart overnight. If black people stop spending, if black people stop going to these corporate jobs, or working their skill trade, or whatever the case may be, or black people stop breaking the law and going to jail, the whole system falls apart in all the interlocking institutions. If niggas stop going to jail, lawyers gonna lose out. Prosecutors gonna lose out. Nobody will be able to run on cleaning up crime. And if niggas stop using and selling drugs, the economy will fall apart, because I believe a lot of it's being funded through drug dealing, which is from the government. You know what I'm saying? We all know that from, the CIA, what's that, the Iran Contra with the real Rick Ross and all that. You know what I'm saying? It falls apart. And then what'll happen is we'll be forced by default to come together, because we all we got. But because of the system, the way it's set up, it's more individualistic, because we're all fighting for a position on the plantation. If I don't like the rules of the game, I don't play. My power, and I got that from GMB as well. I got a couple things from bruh. Attachment is the root of all suffering. And what was the other one? I can't remember the other one now. But he done blessed the kid though. And now I see. And just focus on yourself. Because if it's either one or two things gonna happen when you deal with anything. It's either beneficial to you or it's not. And anything that's not beneficial to you is going to drain you from your primary purpose. And you can't really help nobody or provide or so on and so forth unless you're putting yourself first. Like, okay, say I don't put myself first. Okay, I give you with my child, right? Because she kind of is doing this, her mother thing, like, you know what I mean, da-da-da. And she has, like, the last 6 months, she's had this habit of, like, not talking to me because I told her no. So, okay, you don't get it. Okay, but now I'm seeing a pattern here. Okay, so she spoke to me the other day. I ain't speak. And I'm not going to speak till I feel like speaking. Because you need to know, I'm not kowtowing to your feelings and behavior, because that ain't going to help you or me. So you need to be humble. And I'll, still provide and, do all that stuff. But all that extra shit out the window. I don't want to talk to you. Because now you're being benevolent. And now I'm turned off. So I don't want to talk to you. And I don't need you. You need me. But they'll play you based on your, like, it's so crazy now. Like, they'll use your natural inclinations against you. Like, oh, I know he loves me, so let me treat him like shit. Or let me carry him, because I know they actually care. That's how demon-possessed this society is. Instead of being a good steward over love, even though everybody home about ain't no love out here, when somebody shows you love, you use them. But then you lift up and revere the people who treat you like shit. And I'm like, why is that? Probably because deep down you know you ain't shit. So you gravitate to that which you know treats you the way you should be treated. So I now treat people accordingly. Which I ain't gonna treat nobody bad, because I don't think God want me to operate like that. I just don't acknowledge your presence. I don't listen to nothing you say. You know what I'm saying? I'm very dismissive of people. or they say something dumb or whatever, I just look at her for like, and then go on about my business like, you know what I mean? Like, who is you? You know what I'm saying? Because in reality, who are you? Now, granted, I'm not I'm some, super spectacular Negro, right? But at the same time, I am. And that's another thing, like when you, confident in turn, not because of, status symbols of materialism. When you just, because technically I've been operating like this when I didn't have nothing. I've been saying no and cutting, you know what I'm saying? I've been doing that when I ain't had nothing. Not because I was being a douche, but because I seen the need to gain leverage. Because, needing people and so on and so forth. And we all need help and, support and all that. But being overly needy or always having to go to somebody to fix your problem and all that, they're going to treat you like Willie Lump Lump. Which is going to knock your confidence. You're not going to be as assertive. You know what I'm saying? Da-da-da. So when I needed something and I didn't have it, I just learned how to go without. So now I know I can go through hardship. Which I think is a trait of a man. You know what I'm saying? I've learned to play the long game. And that's what I'm doing here with the new Black Man Vote With Your Feet movement. They talk dumb on the job. Now, I ain't saying just hurry up and leave. But start to build like your own brand or your own skill set that you can take anywhere on earth. That way you ain't got to put up with no dumb shit. Because these corporations and these various companies, it's not like your grandparents' time where you can work with these companies 30 years, retire, get a pension, you straight. With inflation and just the market and all that type of crap, man, you can't do none of that. You need to build you up. So you be all right. So you learn to say yourself. Like Malcolm them pre, do for self. Get you very, tangible skills. Garden, hunt, fish, game as far as dealing with people. You know what I'm saying? Standards and principles. Crack open the word. Acknowledge your shortcomings. You see what I'm saying? I worked at a treatment center, right? And I used to tell the brother, you in here, right? So you kind of, you don't fight back. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you can't get it back together, but this the reality of the situation. So you might want to smash shawty right there. But I can guarantee you, if you put in some work on yourself and you go to school for 2 years to get this, to put you here, and you know what I'm saying? You dipping and dodging and all that, the same broad you were hitting now, you wouldn't even think about hitting her. Because now you would see with all the work you've had to put in, she's not worthy to be around me. Now you'll start to value yourself. And here's another thing. People don't value what they didn't earn. So when you get these women, they talk about, oh, I need this, do this for me, do. If she don't earn it, she's not going to value it and she's not going to respect you. All this tricking culture and all that, man, they done fucked us up. Because they've given these women, and we're the only probably race of people who have old whores who are living in delusion, still thinking they can get married. Still, because there are plenty of simps, so they probably can, but and then they're raising their daughters to be the same way. You got to play hardball. Yeah, like with my daughter, she wasn't speaking to me, so her mother sent me a text about she says she's hungry, even though we got a house full of food, about what she want. I don't care what she want. So I was actually in the grocery store just picking up some extra eggs and bread, and I thought about just getting the stuff and still not talking to her. Then I thought about it, I said, you know what? Nah. No. Because what was crazy, because I came in the house, and she spoke to me for the first time in 2 weeks, but I ain't say nothing back. Then when I went upstairs, I thought about it, she must want something. So I took a nap, woke up, and that's when I got the text message. I said, oh, hell no. We're not doing that. And here's another thing, in voting with your feet. And I'm coming from a spiritual place with this. Understanding prophecy, scripture, right? You're going to have to start writing people off. From a spiritual sense, right? You help those that you see trying. Like if I see a brother, he keep making mistakes, but he's still banging on the set, though. He's still trying to figure it out. I can rock with him all day. But a motherfucker just talking and complaining or talking about a whole bunch of superficial shit, they ain't going, man, no. He gets nothing from me. And not only that, but I know if I'm in close proximity to you, I know what you'll do when push come to shove. Because you have nothing internally to stand on. Because you ain't been through nothing. You took the easy way out. You moved in with the bride. You do. you finessed him, you know what I'm saying? You'll spin the block and try to come get me because you know I'm out here living right, and deep down you despise me. You see what I'm saying? Just like they say, like motherfucker talk a whole bunch of tough shit, or here's one. You know, we got the guy, he talked about how much money he get, or he's just old money guy, right? But then a real man who get money, he don't go in the room and talk about how much money he get. He just get it. That's overcompensation. So I'm imploring, brother, vote with your feet. If it's not conducive to you, or if it's okay, I do this for this long, but if I do this for this long, it should set me up here. If it ain't gonna do none of that, man, leave and find something else because you're wasting your time. You wasting your energy, you wasting your spirit on stuff that's beneath you. See, that how you thinking you need this shit. No, the fuck you don't. They need you. If niggas stop playing basketball, the NBA falls apart. If niggas stop playing football, now granted, the reason I think they do that because they know we don't have the best organizational skills. But just leave. That's what I did. I don't like what's going on. It don't make no sense in my brain. I try to get understanding and still don't get now. I'm gone. You can say whatever. You put up with it. I'm not. Got to be crazy. All this work I done did, internally, externally, to just accept any old thing. If I was going to do that, ain't no sense of putting in no work. If I'm just going to accept whatever, or get down the road and sell out, I ain't put in no work to sell out. I put in all this work so I could get the hell out. Church, I'ma holler at y'all, man. Word up.